Morning everybody, Sam here, United People's TV, live on YouTube and Facebook. It's the international break. There isn't that much news to talk about in terms of football, but with Manchester United there is always news. And there's some great news today, hopefully about Paul Pogba's return date. We've been waiting since September. We've been shit without him. Well, weren't at the start, but now we definitely are poor without him. Fingers crossed he's going to be back for the Newcastle game. That is the injury news, we'll get into that. But where are you watching it from, as always? Let me know in the comments. I'll try and give you a shout out on Facebook and on YouTube. Got Boston Dornan watching from New Zealand, Srijan watching from Nepal, and Camo watching from Botswana. Reds around the world as always. But let's get into this Pogba story. As I said, he's been missing since he went off against FC Basel with a hamstring injury at Old Trafford. We thought, you know what, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I suppose with a hamstring injury, maybe 3 to 4 weeks. You think, right, we can cope with that. Lo and behold, it's the 9th of November now, and he's still not back. And he's going to hopefully be back against Newcastle. This is what the reports are saying. They're saying that Pogba is expected to be back fit 100% for that Manchester City derby, which is on the 10th of December. And in terms of getting him ready and fit for that game, Jose Mourinho wants him to get him back in this squad to face Newcastle on the 18th of November. That is huge news for Manchester United. But what I want to ask from you guys and girls is, do you think there's then going to be unfair pressure on Paul Pogba to instantly change Manchester United's fortunes? Because if Man United continue to play in the same sort of stagnant, non-creative football that we have done in the last few games when Pogba is back in the team, we've got no excuse. Because at the moment, United fans are saying, look, we haven't got Pogba. That's why we're playing so badly. If he comes back in the team and we can't change our fortunes around, what does that say about the team? Maybe the problems have not just been with Paul Pogba being missing. Let's go through a few more shout-outs for you. You've got Foad watching from Australia, Sam watching from Ireland, Matthew watching from Cape Town. How you doing, mate? Jaden watching from Singapore, Roy from Kenya, Vedant from India, Classical MMA Chief watching from Venezuela. How you doing there, mate? Taj Williams watching from Jamaica, Omazuzi watching from Italy, Zongizeli watching from Pretoria. Let's go over to Facebook as well and see where you're watching it from. We've got Abyadada. I should really choose some easier names. Sorry about that, I just annihilated yours. He's watching from India. Samuel, that's an easier name, watching from Namibia. Frederick watching from Ghana. Derek watching from Qatar. Kim watching from Kuwait. So many Reds around the world. Han Bin Yuk watching from South Korea. Now, let's go to some of your comments about Pogba. We've got Yerin J saying, with Pogba's return, hopefully Lukaku will find his missing goal boots. That is a big... You saw it with N'Golo Kante. When he came back into that Chelsea team, all of a sudden, Cesc Fabregas looked like a different player. Timo Bakayoko looked like a different player. Eden Hazard looked like a different player. Kante's the sort of player in that Chelsea team that brings the best out of the players around him. And that is exactly what Paul Pogba does at Manchester United. As soon as he comes back in the team, expect Lukaku to be sharper, to be banking better runs and to be receiving the ball in better positions. Expect Mkhitaryan to have an upturn in form because it won't be just on him to be the creative spark from midfield. Expect probably Ander Herrera to play a little bit better because he's got Paul Pogba playing alongside him. Paul Pogba is so good that he has the ability to make players around him better. And that's the main reason why I'm saying that Manchester United have been so lacking without Paul Pogba in the team. It's not just the fact that Paul Pogba himself has been missing. It's the difference that Paul Pogba makes to all the players around him. He makes the team tick. That is why I am so excited about Paul Pogba coming back. We've got Carl watching from South Africa. We've got Ronald Wynn saying we have a big problem and the back, midfield and up front. We've got a big problem everywhere. United have been playing poorly. There's that loss against Huddersfield. We followed that up with wins against Swansea, wins against Benfica. It felt quite nice, quite comfortable wins. Then the Chelsea game came up and we just got dominated. Stamford Bridge, never a good ground for Manchester United, and it certainly wasn't last Sunday. First 15, 20 minutes, we came out, the blocks firing. We actually played quite well at the start, but after that, it was poor from Manchester United. 70 minutes of domination from Chelsea. Would that have been different if Paul Pogba was in the team? I personally think it would have been. The reason we were so bad is because we were playing a midfield three with Mkhitaryan was just so poor in that number 10 role that our midfield two were exposed against Chelsea's three and they overran us in midfield. With Pogba in it, that wouldn't have been the case. Got Ansel Williams watching from YouTube saying, shout out to Houston Astros, the world champions. Houston is Man United red. There you go. You got your shout out. We've got Zongizelli saying, I can't believe such a big team like United can depend on one player. United need to be able to fully function without Paul Pogba or any other player that's absent. Now, I do agree with that to an extent, mate, but if you take Harry Kane out of Tottenham Hotspur, if you take Kante out of Chelsea, if you take, I don't know, Aguero out of Man City, the teams look different. I think Man City is probably a bad example. They are definitely best equipped to cope without any individual player. They've got so much quality around the entire squad. But Kante without Chelsea really, really struggled. Liverpool, take Mane out of the team, they're a completely different team. Take Kane out of Spurs, they're a completely different team. You take the best player out of any team around the world, they're going to be a different team. But Man United have not coped very well at all without Paul Pogba. That I do agree with. Got Fai watching from Singapore, Malik watching from Gambia, and Ahmed watching from Somalia, Suhail watching from the Mauritius Islands. How you doing, mate? Got Fawad asking whether I think Paul Pogba will play for France. There's no way he's going to play for France. It's like Harry Kane and Winks pulling out of the England squad, and all of a sudden Harry Kane's fit. But Paul Pogba isn't even slightly fit to be in that French squad, so Deschamps should not be calling him up for that. Diego's asking a question about Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now, this is coming from everywhere, really, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he's been eyed up as a potential number 10. He is literally the number 10. He's taken that shirt after Wayne Rooney left in the summer. But Man United have been struggling without a proper number 10 this season. Paul Pogba, he's not been operating as a number 10. We've been playing as a midfield 2 with Matic and Pogba. He's been bursting into that number 10 role. But since we've been playing 4-2-3-1 or 5-3-2, with that more advanced third midfielder, who's been Mkhitaryan, who's been bang out of form, that's where Man United have struggled. And maybe someone like Ibrahimovic, who did tend to drop deep last season, remember that? So many points I was frustrated that he was our striker, but he wanted the ball so much because there wasn't enough creativity from midfield. He would drop deep, try to receive the ball, but then no one was up front. Maybe if you've got Lukaku who stays up front, Ibrahimovic just behind him, that could work. That really much could. Let me know in the comments, yes or no. Type it in now. Do you think Ibrahimovic's best position for Man United when he returns is going to be that number 10 position? Got Fawad watching from Ethiopia as well. How you doing, mate? Football India saying we do need depth, not quantity, but quality. Look at the squad. It's simply full of B+ players. That's not what Man United should have. I think Man United have got a very good squad, but there are still key areas we do need to improve. I don't think Ashley Young should be playing for Manchester United. As good as he has been, we can replace him with a better left back. Clearly, Luke Shaw is not going to be a Manchester United player under Jose Mourinho. It's just not going to work out for him. So we need a new left back. Right back, we probably need some cover, maybe for Antonio Valencia. Maybe that could be Axel Tuanzebe or Timothy Fosu-Mensah when he's back from Crystal Palace. I think we need one more central midfielder for depth, and we certainly need a proper winger. Someone like Ivan Perisic, somebody who's naturally a wide player. That's what we need as well. Let's go straight into the comments for some more here. We've got Kato watching from Norway. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Hassan saying, I want a sick left back, Umtiti, Fabinho and Griezmann. Obviously, that would be some great signings. David watching from Ethiopia. How you doing, mate? Let's head to Facebook for some more comments here. Someone there saying so much pressure on Pogba now. Hope he does do well ASAP. That's Jaya Gujarthi. I agree with you there, mate. Someone else left a comment. I couldn't see your name because it's disappeared. Oh, there you go. John Hammond watching from the UK whilst off work after an operation. Hope the operation went okay for you, mate. And what better way to start your day than joining MUFC Daily? Another couple stories to talk about. Anthony Martial's been talking. He's had a cracking season so far. Whether it's been from the bench or from starting, he's made an impact. And that's what Anthony Martial should be doing. That's why Jose Mourinho was so hard on him, because it was tough love treatment to get the best out of him. Doesn't work with every player. It was a risk with a younger player. It's working with Anthony Martial, and he's beaming sometimes. This is what he's had to say. He said, maybe I smile a bit more now. I had a few problems in my life, but now that's over. Now I'm really focused on my football and I'm happy to play. Really, if you see in a group, you'll see I'm one of the first guys to laugh. Off the pitch, I'm a bit shy. I don't show my emotions that much, but I'm happy. Even if you don't see me smile, I'm still happy. Maybe on the pitch is because I'm focused. I'll try and smile more, but it wouldn't be natural if I forced it. Martial, I don't care about you smiling or not if you're scoring goals and getting assists, but he did have some off the field problems. You know, he's having a really messy divorce with his wife. I think after he cheated on him, and she had his kid as well. It was messy, it lasted a long time, but that is in his past. And now we're seeing the best form from Martial. Now we've got Martial in form, Rashford in form, Lukaku struggling at the moment without Paul Pogba, but we knew he was going to, because Lukaku is a great goal scorer. He's not a creator of goals. Lukaku will not magic goals out of nowhere. That's why he's a little bit different to Alvaro Morata. And it's kind of why I said that Morata might suit United more, but I've kind of backtracked on that because of how well Lukaku has done, how well he fitted into the team. Lukaku will score he'll score 30 plus goals this season for Manchester United, as long as we've got people providing the opportunities for him, so that his first touch is on the edge of the box or inside the box. If you expect Lukaku to drop deep and create opportunities, he's not going to score that many goals, and that's why he's going through this slight barren patch of no goals at the moment. But as soon as Pogba's back, hopefully that'll change. Got Chur watching from New Zealand. Someone asking about De Gea news. He's turned 27. There's some De Gea news for you. But other than that, De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. We all know that. Happy days, De Gea. Martial, what a player, says Football Red Devils. Absolutely. Martial is one of the best players in this Manchester United squad, and we're seeing that this season. His impact from the bench, just like Marcus Rashford, has been nothing short of phenomenal. We've got real game changers in this squad, and that's what you need in a squad. You don't just need a fantastic starting 11, because as you can see with Paul Pogba being injured, you need strength and depth. We haven't got that much. Well, I'm saying that Pogba's been injured, Fellaini's been injured, and we've still had Matic and Herrera, but Herrera's been so out of form that it has hurt United. Hopefully that will change as we go on with the season. A little bit of positive news is Nemanja Matic has actually been left out of the Serbia squad, not due to injury. He's just been given a rest, because Serbia are flying to face China and South Korea. They are some nasty trips, long trips in the international break. But Nemanja Matic won't be travelling. He'll be chilling out in Manchester, and we need him to be fully rested, because as much as Paul Pogba has been an influence of Man United, a Man United team without Nemanja Matic, I wouldn't like the look of that at all. Oof. Let's go to a few more comments before we wrap up for today. We've got Sky Bullet here saying, who thinks Rashford should start as a striker? I'll ask a question for you. Let me know yes or no in the comments now whether you think Rashford should be playing more as a striker rather than on the wing, which is where he's been playing. Let's head to Facebook for a final few comments. Lukaku must improve, says Narayanan. I absolutely think he does, but that's because Paul Pogba's been injured, and as I said, we haven't got the opportunities for him. That's my comment. Abraham saying, watching from Las Vegas. How you doing, mate? Let's go back to YouTube for a few more comments. Ahmed saying, Mourinho used Pogba like Mancini used Yaya Toure. Play him in a midfield 2 at the end of the game, push him forward and play that second holding midfielder. That's what Matic was doing. All those defensive duties and just letting Pogba run free up towards the attacking third of the pitch. That's where you're going to get the best out of Paul Pogba. And that's where you want to see him. You don't want to see him receiving the ball in his own half and having to create opportunities from deep. You want to see him receiving the ball just past the halfway line and having the ability to run at a defence. That's when you're going to get the best. Loads of comments here coming in saying Evil Before and Seb both saying yes, that Rashford should play up front. Mustafa agrees with you. So does Roy Boys, but Rannock disagrees. Gary, he agrees. Rashford can make some goals for us. I absolutely do agree with that. TK watching from Zimbabwe. How you doing there, mate? Someone saying they love the show. Thank you very much. If you like the show, drop a like on the video. That always helps. Let's head to Facebook for a few comments on Rashford as well. Got Walter Jr. saying, with Paul Pogba back, at least Lukaku will have to score better with a better supply that he's getting. We need one more midfielder and a winger. Matic won't be travelling, which is good for us. It is absolutely good for us. I agree with you there. Musubila saying Rashford should play as a number 9 in some games. Maybe he should. Nishank saying we should try Rashford up front when Lukaku isn't firing. So we did play Rashford up front against Chelsea. I think we played Rashford up front away at CSK in Moscow. So he is getting some opportunities there. He's not just effectively used as a winger. But Man United have options this year. We've got options in attack. It's just we're missing that key ingredient in Paul Pogba. And it's not just the fact that Paul Pogba is that good a player. It's what he gets out of all the other players around him. That is why he's so important, and that is why hopefully when he returns against Newcastle, we can return to the sort of football that saw us score 4 against Crystal Palace, Swansea, Burton Albion, CSKA Moscow. That's the Man United we need to see, and we need to get back into a good run of form before we play Man City on the 10th of December at Old Trafford. A huge game for Man United there, and fingers crossed Pogba's going to be 100% fit for it. That's it for today's MUFC Daily. Thank you all for joining in. As you can see, so many shout outs, so many Reds watching from all around the world. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like button now if you haven't already. If you're new to the show, there's plenty of you watching. Drop a subscribe, hit that subscribe button as well, and hit the notification bell. And therefore, you wouldn't miss a show every single morning, 10:30 British Standard Time. On Facebook, as always, thank you for joining in. Like the page if you want to, share it with other Reds, why not? Until tomorrow, take it easy.